afternoon, and welcome to my little workshop here in the basement where I build my planes that I fly on my Bob the Aeronaut channel. I wanted to take a few minutes here of your time and explain this 5 easy piece thing I keep talking about on my channel and the way that I build the planes that you see flying there. I was looking for some way to simplify the construction and the method of making the plane. So many people do it on the computer. I can do that. But I am kind of stuck in my older ways of not doing that, of just doing it by hand, the way I make a lot of other architectural models and other things that I do. The first plane that I did this with was the Chendu aircraft J-20. And I found this drawing that had been posted on one of the forums, actually specifically the RCPOWERS forum, by one of the members there, of a diagram of the J-20. And I took this diagram and had it blown up at my friendly neighborhood large format printer so that it is 47 inches long is what it came out to when it was finally done, but it fit on a 48-inch wide or 48-inch long by 36-inch wide sheet of paper. And I cut it out and glued it to a piece of 30 by 42 foam board, just like this pattern, which I'll show you here in a little bit. But anyway, it starts out like that. And this is the main wing half. There is the nacelle, which is taken from the pattern of the side view of the plane. I cut out the nacelle part, leave the upper part of the fuselage, pull that away, and then on this, I add the pan of the nacelle, the lower pan piece. So when you put it together, you've got the side here and then your pan. And these are made to notch right onto the main wing. And there's a set of tabs set up to hold it on. As you can see, these are halves, so you need to make two and glue them together along their center lines. But you start making half a plane here, and then you add this slides in, this front end is slotted, it slides in on these planes, and you have the fuselage bend for it, and there's your plane pretty much just taking shape right there before your eyes. So that was the first time I did that, kind of developed the whole concept of the 5-piece plan right there. And this is the product, which I'm sure you've seen fly. The 47 inch by 34 inch wingspan J-20 uses 2 servos, 3 channel. It's got the Grayson Hobby Super Mega Jet motor with a 7.5 inch prop, and it has a pretty good cross section. You see it coming at you, as you can see in the movies there. Let me get it out of the way so you can see through it. Get it lined up. There we go. And a little hatch on the bottom nacelle there to get to all the goodies inside. Mount the motor and such. Mount the battery, which actually the battery ends up being, this is so long, it ends up just inside the nacelle about where my hand is right there. The only thing I changed on this, as you can see from that pattern on the nacelle, I made, as this yellow, if you can see it make out the yellow there, I made this stabilizer a little bit bigger on this pattern. Also on the main wing, as you can see in the pink that I've shown here, I was identifying what I was going to make as the control surface, and I straightened this bottom with the back side out of the main wing here, straightened that out a little bit, and added a little bit to the wing width to make it 34 inches instead of, it was going to be 32 or something. So anyway, added an inch, a little bit more than an inch over here to get that wingspan up, which I think helped it. Anyway, did that. And then the canard, this also has, this particular model has the newer plan has the KF2 airfoil on it, and it extends all the way up, reinforces the side here, and extends all the way up and out over the canards, which also helps with a little lift there. The canards on this model are just, I've got them down just a little bit, back to the control surface, even though on the real one the whole thing moves. But anyway, just to give it a little up pitch for flight, and anyway, you can see how it flies there in the movies. Also made a smaller version, and that pattern is just when I put it in, when I did put it in the computer, then I could scale it down and make it whatever size I want at that point. So, and you could do the same thing or just work with these. You can once you get that PDF, take the JPEG, convert it to a PDF with Adobe, you can scale it by cropping the image at the large format printer or have them do it for you. I'm in a situation where the guy that also owns the place is also an RC modeler, so he just has to come in and use his equipment. So it's very convenient for me. The next one I did was the famous PACFA by Sukhoi aircraft, and did the same thing. Here's the nacelle, as you can see from the print. Here was the landing gear wheel and stuff right off that image, and I just literally cut that apart. There's that profile look of the plane, just cut apart. This gives me the nacelle, and then I added these other two pieces here that gives me the nacelle bottom and then an inside panel piece. And it goes on very similar to the way I did the J-20. Flip this over. It slides in, and it has tabs and the slots in the wing, and it all just goes together very simply. This panel all glues together and reinforced. And I dropped it. There we go. And this piece goes on like that, and my golly, pretty soon you got a plane worked out here. So anyway, this is the KF airfoil, which I also created this little extra area back here, rear of where on the main body of the wing, just to give that upper nacelle feel to it. But anyway, again, this was my original pattern that the original one was made out of. I transferred that to the computer because everybody said, "Oh, I want a copy of that." And that's the easiest way to do it, is just get on the computer, so then you can do whatever with it. This is the latest one I've done, or at least I should say it's not the latest one I've done, it's the one I did next with the pattern, as well as the small pack breech, which also saw fly. This one I've not actually fully put together. I just kind of tacked it together, but that's so you can see how it all. Everything just slips together. This is a little tail piece that goes on the back. There's the nacelles, how they wrap around and then go in. On the first one I had more of a structure here, and I decided I don't need it. If I just reinforce it, it's good enough. So that's why it's still a, kind of a work in progress. This is my second one here, to replace the one that I trashed. And as you can see, this one is a little bit longer. I was able to do that. Once it's an AutoCAD, you can do a little more with it, but it doesn't have to be. This one I've got the 4 servos on it, setting it up similar to how I did the Berkut, since I learned so much flying it, and I'll show you that in a minute too. But I've got a servo to run both the lurks and the rear ailerons, which I do this a little bit differently than some of the other modelers who have done these. I let this, just like on the Berkut, I let the nacelle express itself put past the rudder, just like it does in the prototype, and then I bend a wire that I clamp with the horn, the control horn. I have the kind that have the little screws that go through and clamp it down. So I clamp the wire on that end, run it under the rudder and over onto the TV, and then just use packing tape. I use the 3M style shipping tape with the fiberglass reinforcements in it to hold it all together. Do that on both sides, and then also on the lurks, as well as on the canards that I've been doing, learn to put a wire in here. You can see that very clearly or not. So the wire that I also embed in the tape, and that helps keep this whole control surface nice and straight, because the problem can be this thing can get warped even in flight. With just the foam or just foam and tape, it'll want to lift up. But having it clamped there by that, have that wire in there and clamped by the control horn, keeps that lurch nice and straight, keeps your canards nice and straight. As you can see, this is starting to work out pretty good. It's a nice, let me get it up here right for you. Nice profile, nice, minimal head-on too, for which I just love the profile planes for that. They don't block near as much air, so we can slip through the air. This is going to be set up, of course, for the Grayson Hobby Super Mega Jet motor, which will go in there, and basically everything will just lay here between the the nacelles, and the battery will end up being just, I think, just short of the canard on this one. Anyway, that's the pack. Oh, and I do want to show you that it isn't just it. I laid it out to be the same size as a what do you call it? RCPOWERS F-22. Now this one is I modified this plan. This is basically an RCPOWERS F-22. I did make it a 5 easy piece plan profile as opposed to the noses. I got tired of building noses, and as you can see, the vertical stabilizers are canted a bit more than they would be on the regular one, which doesn't seem to hurt it any. But I've already flown one of these, and it was too windy and I broke it. But anyway, this is my second one, and it's all, as you can see, also very narrow, minimal profile through the wind. Right now I'm setting it up to use a microjet motor. Anyway, it's still going to have just a 3-channel system. But you can see this, the pack car and this plane are both standalone noses are the same. The same size, 48 inches long altogether, and a 34-inch wingspan. So they just, boom, work out great. Oh, let's put that back here. Now then, the Berkut right here. I made that. This is the image that I got off the internet. As you can see, this lays out. This is my pattern. You can see I made this from. Once again, here's the fuselage, and fuselage image, and I can again realign that all back up, just like when I cut it out of the picture. Boom, there it goes. This became the fuselage piece, and I added in this portion here to attach itself to the lower panel of the fuse and to the top of the wing. And then here's my profile of the nacelle and the rear stabilizer. And then I added this panel at the bottom to hook up and give me the lower pan. So again, you make 2 of these, you glue them together just like you make 2 of those, glue them together so that you have a whole wing surface like this. And this slides together, again, same thing all over again. Slides together like that, tabs go in the slots, and pretty soon you got the 2 wing halves here. You slide this piece in from the front, and bingo, you got a plane. And it didn't take a computer, other than the one at the print shop, but you know to have one. So anyway, that's how simple it is. The Berkut, I did reinforcements with carbon at the rear tail, right through this part of the wing, and a short one up here on the canard, because the way I made the canard, reinforced the canard at the rear, and then use that piece of metal to a rod to keep it straight, and then it pivots from the back end, as opposed to the whole thing pivoting, which is a much easier way to build it and make it work than to make the whole thing rotate. Okay, well that's it. Thanks for watching, and tune in again. Bye.